the United States is the only place in the world where you can still find Boeing 717s in active passenger service. As of February 2025, 99 717s remain in service across 2 airlines. With a fleet of 80 aircraft representing 80% of all currently active 717s, Delta Airlines maintains the largest fleet. The remaining 19 examples fly with Hawaiian Airlines, running frequent services between the islands. Now, having just taken 2 flights on Hawaiian 717s, what better way to cap off this trip to Hawaii by flying on one of Delta's? With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video as we jump on board the Delta 717 with service from Minneapolis to Indianapolis. Good morning from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, where I've just come off a 7-hour red-eye flight from Honolulu and have 2 hours before my second and final leg to Indianapolis. All Delta flights and most airlines in MSP operate from Terminal 1, the Lindbergh Terminal, while Terminal 2, the Humphrey Terminal, serves Sun Country, Southwest, Frontier, and Iceland Air. Terminal 1 is rather expansive, but all of its concourses are interconnected, so connections are rather straightforward. Now, I literally just found this out, but in 2024, MSP was ranked by J.D. Power as the best North American mega airport in terms of passenger satisfaction. And perfectly enough, our destination, Indianapolis, was ranked as the best medium-sized North American airport in that same category. This morning, we're flying on November 988 Alpha Tango, a 23-year-old 717 that I've actually flown on before, 2 years ago from Atlanta to Dallas Love Field. As you can probably tell by the registration, all of Delta's 717s previously flew for AirTran Airways. Even though AirTran was acquired by Southwest Airlines, they preferred not to keep AirTran 717s because integrating them into an all 737 fleet would have been challenging. As such, Delta struck a good deal with Southwest to acquire all of the former AirTran 717s. These aircraft would replace Delta's aging fleet of DC-951s, which was kind of perfect because the 717 is technically the most modern version of the DC-9 family. And fun fact, when Delta first acquired the 717 in 2013, they became the only airline to operate all major variants of the DC-9 family simultaneously. I mean, look how cool this picture is, showcasing the MD-90 in the background, then an MD-88, followed by a DC-951, and lastly, the DC-9's replacement, the 717 in the front. Delta's Boeing 717 seats 110 passengers with 12 seats in first class and 98 in main cabin, of which 20 are designated as Comfort Plus. This morning, I'm in 26A, and I found these seats to be pretty comfortable, as I usually do when flying Delta. The 717 is Delta's only mainline aircraft without seatback entertainment, and while there are rumors that these aircraft would eventually be retrofitted, I don't think it will happen. Otherwise, the seat is mostly the same with a tray table, dual seat pocket, decent leg space, and universal power outlets between seats. A nice perk of the 717's A and B seats is that there's no metal bar between them, so if no one's next to you, that gives you a lot more unobstructed space. Now, despite Minneapolis being Delta's current second largest hub, Delta was never always its hometown airline. In fact, Minneapolis was the former headquarters and largest hub of Northwest Airlines from its founding in 1926 until its merger with Delta in 2010. 15 years later, Delta operates over 300 daily departures to around 120 cities from Minneapolis-St. Paul, and combined with its regional affiliates, controls just under 70% of the airport's total market share.
It, when the plane came in from Charlotte, it should take about 5 minutes. Thanks, Jermaine.
Having barely gotten any sleep on my previous flight from Honolulu, I pretty much slept for the entirety of this flight. There was a snack service, but I didn't take it, dozing off until we soon began our descent. The last time I flew between these two cities was in 2009, that time flying to Minneapolis on a Northwest A319, where I'd then connect onto an A330 to Honolulu. Our approach this morning brought us in from the northwest, and after a roughly 90-degree base turn, we landed on runway 5 right. Now, aside from the fact that you can only fly on 717s in the US these days, the aircraft still isn't a super rare plane here thanks to Delta having so many, and of course Hawaiian having theirs. Still, any chance I get to fly a 717 I'm gonna take, and even though Delta once intended to retire their 717s by December 2025, that is no longer the case. Delta plans to keep these aircraft going for a while longer, not considering retirement until sometime in the 2030s. After a wonderful trip to Hawaii, we're here deplaning at the exact same gate that I departed from 9 days earlier. Welcome back to Indianapolis, where I still have a 2-hour drive home before I can finally sleep in my own bed. I really hope you've enjoyed the videos from this trip because I sure had a lot of fun making them. I'd be at home for another 2 weeks before flying out to Saudi Arabia, and videos from that trip will be coming out very soon. So until I see you all next, thank you so much for watching, take care, and goodbye.